So what's going on, guys? We are out here at my good friend's RV. He's the one that bought the R-Pod with the 2017 Dodge Durango with the tow package that we will be hooking up to it and getting his Andersen weight distribution hitch all set up perfectly. First step is to remove the OEM hitch cover. Once that's done, you're going to take your shank and install it into the receiver. Next, we have to find out and measure the correct height for the trailer as well as the hitch assembly. So the goal when everything's said and done is that your trailer and your truck are going to be level, that the trailer's not going to put excessive tongue weight on the back of the Durango, and the Durango's not going to have the hitch set up so high that the trailer's leaning back. So the first thing you want to do is be on relatively flat ground, which we are. Raise the tongue jack on the trailer. Once we get the tongue jack raised and everything is level on the trailer, we're then going to take the hitch assembly and we're going to insert it into the shank. So the goal here is to set the coupler height right here at the very tallest point of the ball. So what I'm going to measure right here is 18 inches, 18.5 inches from the ground to the top of the coupler. And then from here, I want to make sure that the ball is slightly higher than that. So I'm going to put the ball at 20.5 inches. Which means it will go into the very top holes. Have the torque wrench set at 150 pound-feet. It's 28 to 29, so I'm going to go 28.5. So the Durango has load leveling rear suspension that come factory. It's basically a shock absorber that after you drive a couple feet when the back is squatted down, it will essentially hydraulically pump itself back up to the correct height. So we're going to see if that's true. Right now the trailer caused the vehicle to be at a height of 32 inches from the ground to the top of the tire, the bottom of the fender well right here, so 32 inches. So we're going to drive a little bit, then we're going to remeasure to see if this load leveling rear shock actually brings the back end up slightly. If it even brings it up half an inch, that'll be pretty good. Guys, I have to honestly say, I think that load leveling rear suspension is kind of a gimmick because we only have about 300 pounds of tongue weight on here, which is the ideal amount for this load leveling suspension to kick in, and it didn't do anything. We're still at 32 inches. If anything, it brought it down just a hair. It's a little bit lower than it was before, but it is definitely not a dramatic change at all. It didn't increase the height and it didn't really lower it much. The Durango really doesn't have any squat. We're gonna look at the back here to see if it's any higher than it was. But the setup looks really clean. This is a really good combination rig. Now we just need to make a couple adjustments to the weight distribution hitch system. It really didn't need much weight distribution, to be honest, but we're gonna make a few adjustments just to make sure it sits completely level and the sway control system is going to work properly, because the chains have to be tightened up in order for the plate to move appropriately, that little triangle plate up front, which is then going to create that weight distribution system. Okay, so we are getting out on the road for its maiden voyage, on the highway at least, with the Andersen no sway hitch. You can see it there in the back. One of the really nice things about an R-Pod is you really don't need tow mirrors because it's narrow enough that you can really see around it with your standard mirror. There's a lot of visibility around the R-Pod because you don't have that full width RV profile to it. So one of the things that he just mentioned is that you definitely feel the difference when braking. Again, you are adding a significant amount of weight to the back of a Durango. Durango only weighs, I'm guessing, probably about 5,500 pounds or less. And because of that, whenever you add something like a trailer behind it, which weighs, upwards of 3,000 pounds, you're gonna feel that. We are adding a trailer brake controller to this as well, so that's going to be something that will give him additional comfort knowing that the trailer brakes on the R-Pod are going to be assisting him. He really doesn't need one because of the gross vehicle weight rating of his trailer is under the required amount for a trailer brake, but we're adding one anyways, simply because the trailer already has brakes, so it's going to give him additional peace of mind whenever he's towing. Anyways, guys, we are on our way back to the RV storage to drop off his trailer. I will put the link in the description of this video to where you can get the Andersen no sway hitch. It's definitely a really good hitch, especially if you're going to be using it on smaller trailers. I know it works very well on larger trailers, but you got to imagine, because that friction compound is designed to stop even a 10,000 pound trailer, when you throw a 3,000 pound trailer behind you, it's really going to give you a lot of sway control because that friction is going to work even harder for you. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you again soon.